Mrs. Masuku here. I just wanted to come on so that you could have your inquiry lesson for this week. And we're beginning our new inquiry question, which is how can we find out about people in the past? And today we're going to be learning to create timelines. And we're going to be a state of being, a new state of being that we haven't been so far yet in year 3. We've been scientists already, we've been geographers, and now we're going to be historians. So let's just have a think to start with. What does it mean to be a historian? So we're going to watch this video together. So if you bear with me, I'll load it up for us. Here we go.
How to be a historian. Being a historian is surprisingly similar to being a detective. The first and most important things both need to do is be curious and ask important questions like, what happened here? Then comes the hard part, finding evidence. Archaeology is a good place to start. You explore an excavation like a detective explores a crime scene.
Yes.
Archaeologists dig for artifacts, which are objects made by people in the past, although you often end up with much more mud on you than a detective would. Like a detective, you need to sort your evidence. Primary sources are things that people made or wrote during the time in history you're learning about, like a coin or a diary. If you don't like digging, though, you can find artifacts in museums and archives too. Secondary sources are things that were written after an event has happened by people who weren't there at the time, like your history textbook, and they're not always right. Both historians and detectives need to think critically about the clues they find. You need to question your evidence. Don't immediately believe everything you see. At the end of the day, both historians and detectives need to look at all the evidence together. You won't always know exactly what happened because you weren't there, but a good historian, like a good detective, tries their best to get as close to the truth as possible.
Okay. So we've got our new inquiry question, and today, as you know, we're going to be creating a timeline. So to start with, does anybody know how to think? Do you know what chronological means? That's our word for today, chronological. Can you say it? I'll say it first. Chronological. Chronological. And now we're going to watch another little video to explain what chronology is, or if something is in chronological order.
Brain, what are you doing? I've got something I want to talk to you about. The word chronological.
Brain?
It means the order in which things happen. For example, before we started talking, you were practicing a backflip. After our chat, for reasons best known to yourself, you're going to try your hand at crocodile wrestling.
Brain!
Tomorrow, you're going to need to see a doctor about that.
Brain!
This is the chronological order that these things happen. Get it, Brain?
Brain?
Good lad, Brain. Here's your hat. Run along and play with your toothy little friends.
Brain!
What a funny video. So it was just telling us then what chronological means, and it was telling us that chronological order is the order in which things happen. So I'll go back to our slideshow on our smartboard. Let's check. Chronological means the order in which things happen. So here we've got some pictures of Prince Charles. He's the Queen's son. And you should have received in your work pack for this week a paper, so some paper for your inquiry, and on it it's asking you to put these pictures in order, in chronological order. So remember, chronological order is the order in which things happen. So you can pause the video here and you can get cutting and sticking, and you can stick these into your inquiry book. So you've received a book from school. It might be a purple book, or it might be a blue book or a yellow book, but all it means is that's for your inquiry work to go in and for your English work to go in. So your inquiry work can start at the back of the book and your English work can be at the front of the book. Okay, so it doesn't matter too much, but you can stick this in to your new Learning from Home workbook. So you can pause the video here and do that now, and then we'll have a look together in a moment. Okay, how did you get on? Did you pause the video and have a go at putting these pictures into chronological order? Let's look at the next slide. Is this what you thought? These pictures of Prince Charles, if they're in chronological order, what do you think came first? Yeah, that's right. First he was a baby. Then he was a little boy. Got a bit older. He's getting even older there. Here he's a fully grown man. And now he's quite an older gentleman. Okay, so if they're in order, chronological order, that's the order and when they happened, the events happened. So we are going to order some events here on this slide. And we're going to start thinking about the events in your life and how you could create a timeline of your own life. So here I've got some pictures of somebody who's in year 3 of their life. What do you think would come first? Learning to ride a bike? Being born as a baby? Starting school? Joining year 3? And at the end, learning to walk? I think these are in the wrong order. Can you just pause the video here and have a think? What order do you think these pictures should be in? Okay, now I'm going to put them into the order that I think's right. So I think first of all, we would have the baby picture when you were born. And then, do you think this one comes next? Yeah, I think learning to walk. Now these ones, starting school or learning to ride a bike, I don't know which order they might go in. For different people, they might go in different orders. I think for me, I learned to ride a bike just before I started school. But for you, your order might be different. And then at the end for this year 3 child, year 3 comes at the end because that was after they started school. So what can we say about each of these pictures? That's right. Age 0, I was born. Then what came next? I learned to walk. What came next? I learned to ride a bike. What came next? I started school. And what came after that? I joined year 3. So what you've got in your work pack is a piece of work that you can complete to tell us and complete your own timeline. So what you need to do for each of them is you need to draw a picture, and you need to draw a picture and describe what's happening in each picture. Okay, so it might be that you've got different events to the ones that were on the timeline in the example. Or it might be that you want to use some of those to help you. But what events in your life could you put into a timeline? Remember, you start with what happened first and you finish with the most recent thing. Okay, good luck, Year 3. This is your second inquiry lesson, and you'll be hearing from me again soon tomorrow for your third inquiry lesson. Bye-bye.